Are you tired of seeing this problem with your Wi-Fi? Today I'm going to get into how you can solve this issue. I'm going to teach you what things to look for, how to fix these problems, and things that you didn't realize that were inhibiting your Wi-Fi. Stay tuned, we're going to get into it right now. Grandpa Casey. We're going to get into positioning your Wi-Fi, things to look out for in your house that we probably didn't think of that were inhibiting your Wi-Fi, and ways to get around them that will make your Wi-Fi more reliable, more steadfast, and eliminate a lot of the issues you're probably having now. So let's get into that right now. The most important things when you're installing your Wi-Fi, when the cable company, whoever's going to install it from, they're going to put it closest to the wall. And that is a big problem, because when they do that, that inhibits the signal and prevents you from getting the best signal. The second thing is they generally put it close to the computer, and that is also going to cause interference and problems. The first thing you need to decide is, where are all devices in your home or business that you need to transmit and receive signals from? Therefore, then you're going to want to try to put the Wi-Fi router as close to or centered in that area that you can get the most transmission and most receiving and signals. The most best place to put it would be a hallway. A hallway where you have complete line of sight transmission. The signal can transmit and go back and forth, not having any issues getting to where it has to go to and come back. Because if there's something inhibiting, or a wall or a mirror or something getting in the way, it's going to give you a problem. Of course, the next thing you need to do is put that Wi-Fi router on a shelf, approximately at least 4 feet in the air. I have it on a cabinet in my personal home, and you want to have it away from the wall. A lot of people push the router up against the wall. You want to have it as far forward as possible. So I wouldn't recommend that if you're going to put it on a shelf, that the shelf be at least 12 inches wide, and that you have the router as forward away from that wall, so you get the least amount of interference. Because if the signal comes out and immediately hits the wall, it's going to bounce, and that's going to give you interference. Talk about its obstructions. I did a lot of technical reviews with people, and I would go to businesses and I would have all these complaints. The Wi-Fi works here, but it doesn't work there. A Wi-Fi, it bounces, it drops right here. And one of the biggest problems I would see in some businesses, like especially doctor offices, they love to have fish tanks right in the waiting room, somewhere between this and that. And then, for some reason, their box that transmits all their information and their Wi-Fi box is sitting on a wall, on a shelf, right behind the fish tank. So one of the things you have to realize is that water is an obstruction. So Wi-Fi can't transmit through a fish tank. And not only that, with the interference with the motors and the lights that are in it, you already are losing about 50% of your signal. And one of the first things I did was move the router to be more centrally located, and immediately all the offices no longer had this issue. Let's get into another common issue. Now, when you're putting your Wi-Fi router in, you want to position it, again, like I said, with the best line of sight with all the areas that you want to get to. The other thing you want to keep it away from is the kitchen. Now, because microwaves and refrigerators and all this metal is going to interfere with the Wi-Fi signal and preventing it from getting to where it has to go and receiving back. So you want to keep that Wi-Fi router as far away from the kitchen as possible. It'll prevent you from having signal loss, that sudden spinning. Now I'm going to talk to you about mirrors. Now, no one ever, I've watched other Wi-Fi positioning router pictures on YouTube, and I've seen things, but nobody ever mentions the most common thing is mirrors. Most businesses have them. You have them in the house. You may have mirrored walls. Wi-Fi cannot go through a mirror. So if you have a mirrored walls in that home or business, that Wi-Fi is not going to transmit through that. One of the biggest problems I will when I go into businesses and they have or a boutique like this particular one, And they're saying, well, the Wi-Fi drops out, the Wi-Fi drops out. And the person who put the transmitter it's sitting up on the wall right up in the corner. And all I had to do was move it away to the middle of the room, more positioned centrally, so I had line of sight throughout the office, and the problem went away because that Wi-Fi signal will now transmit through. Now, the other thing, of course, is if you have a mirrored wall in your bedroom and your router is on the other side of that wall, you may not be able to get a good signal inside your bedroom. You're saying, I don't understand. I've got the best router. Everything's not working, but I got a mirrored wall that's in the bedroom. That's your problem. So what you'll have to do is install a repeater or a router. Now, what a lot of people do is they'll buy these extenders, and the extenders, I got to tell you, they're basically worthless. Because what they basically do is they'll repeat the signal and transmit it again on a different cue, a different signal. The problem with is once they do that, you have half the bandwidth. So your bandwidth gets split and gets split and gets split. Your best way to do that is to get, if you have an old router around, switch it into transmit mode. There's a video on that, and you run an Ethernet cable from the main router to that room where that's going to be, and that will be your repeater, because now you have a direct connection to the router, to the modem, and you're going to have the best signal strength. A lot of these issues no one ever covers. So these are the common things that people don't look out for when they're having a problem with their Wi-Fi in their house. No one ever thinks about the kitchen, the mirrors in the bedroom, the mirrors in rooms, fish tanks, and things of that. And also not having a line of sight too directly to your devices from your router. Now, if you like this content and you're enjoying it, please give us a like, please give us a share. Don't forget to check out my review of the Rene router. It's a thorough review. It's a way of cutting costs on your cable bill, and also on ways to improve your signal in your house. Anyway, this is Grandpa Casey out. It was good seeing you again. Can't wait to see you in the next video.